One other thing I do want to talk about before we move on from the recording aspect here is it's not only video quality, it's also sound quality, and a lot of people don't realize that. Most cameras typically have really crappy sound quality. The only cameras that I found that have decent sound quality are the HD cameras. In fact, if on YouTube, if you watch one of my videos in lower than 720p quality and then you watch it in 720p, all of a sudden your ears will perk up and you'll be like, wow, why does that sound so much better? It's because there's a lot more memory put into the sound that's captured in the HD version of the video. So my recommendation for anyone, if you really do want to do good gameplay, it's not 100% required, but I do recommend you do get a 720p camera, simply because the video obviously is going to be better, but the audio is really the kicker. The audio really is just outstanding on these cameras. Now, well, speaking of audio, I'm going to show you down here my setup. That's my subwoofer. I'm sorry, that's my receiver. I'm being stupid and not remembering the name of it. It's muted right now, it's unmuted. And what you're gonna see, it's tiny on here, but there's different audio adjustments going down to 40, 39, 38, 37, and up and so forth. A lot of people ask me too, like, what's up with audio? How do you get that to work? Well, I do have a surround sound system, so hold on a second and I'll actually show you what I have. Get some lights on here so you'll actually be able to see it. Bear with me. That's my receiver on the ground. Okay, so let's get this bad boy unhooked. That's my receiver. Okay, that hooks up to my big ass subwoofer right here on the ground, and then it has 5 main speakers. Your main speaker for spoken dialogue is the central speaker right here in front of the TV. Let me back up a little bit to show you. On the sides of the TV you have 2 speakers. Right there, one right there, and one right there. So those are the standard stereo speakers. And then on the floor I have the wiring running across, and I actually have the surround speakers that are right on the sides of my couch. So this is excellent for movies, but a lot of games are now actually kind of buying into this as well. Heavy Rain was one of them where I played it and all of a sudden there'd be a sound, what's that? And you would look to the right, oh shit, I'm playing a game. Why am I looking to the right? I'm an idiot. But some games like FPS games, that's a good plus, but for video recording, this setup is excellent because think about it. You have your camera here, right? Your commentary's coming from behind the camera this way. Your audio's coming from the front of the camera this way, and sometimes you'll even get the ambient sound coming in from the sides, the surround. Now that obviously you don't get that effect from the camera, even in the HD version of the videos, because the camera only has 1 speaker. But it's still pretty cool to be able to hear all those sounds when you're playing the game. Now don't worry, don't worry, it doesn't necessarily ruin the game or anything like that if you don't have the capability to have surround sound. It is an added plus, but most games today, you know, it's not a necessary thing to have. It's still just kind of a luxury if you can afford it. But it's still, if you only have speakers in your TV or regular stereo speakers or whatever, you're still going to have just as good of a time. However, the other thing that I want to know is that every game is different volume-wise. And what I mean is, Heavy Rain, when I played it, I think I played it on my receiver, it was volume level 43. Other games that I played, they sound way too low, so I have to pump it up to like 54, 55, and then if you ever play a game, I'm going to warn you, this is like a red flag warning. If you ever play a game made from Capcom, and it's made by Backbone Software, and what I mean is there's a lot of games on Xbox Live Arcade that are made by Backbone, and also I believe on the PlayStation Network. I don't know what the fuck they do. They must all be deaf because their volume on their games is way too fucking loud. So you'll go to boot up like, you know, HD Remix, Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix, and all of a sudden, you know, you'll have it on a normal setting here because you were just playing something else, and all of a sudden, your speakers will erupt in your face, and you'll fly down on your couch like this, and like, oh shit, it's so fucking loud, I gotta get to the controller to turn that shit before it blows out my speakers. I don't get that. I don't understand why the people who make these games can't just have like a standard and say, this is the standard, you know, we're gonna have regular volume adjustments or whatever. No, they don't do that. They don't put their heads together and come to any kind of a agreement. Instead, we have games that are way too low and you have to pump up your speakers, and you have games where you have to, you know, lower your speakers before you fucking blow them up. So it's not easy. Every game's different. Before you even start recording, you have to make numerous adjustments, as you've just seen. You have to first straighten your camera, make sure it's centered. You have to mess with your TV settings to make sure the game is, at the optimal, centering here, whether it's just scan or whether it's 16:9, whatever you need to do. Then you need to actually go into the game, go into a game screen, not to the main menu, but to the game screen like this game screen here. You have to adjust the brightness settings, the gamma settings, then you have to adjust your TV settings to try to get your TV to optimal settings, and then you have to adjust the volume. So all this, and I haven't even started playing the game yet. Just think about that. I just spent, 25 minutes doing adjustments, and I haven't even pressed fucking play yet. So that's what you really have to do if you want to get the best quality videos. So that's it for recording. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what I do once I'm done with my videos, meaning I'm going to go over to my computer here, and I'm going to show you what happens when I load them. I'm going to show you how I do some editing, and I'm also going to show you how I upload them to YouTube.